Greetings, beautiful ones. This is Camellia. I'm coming to you from the beautiful Sacramento, California. I want to hit on a very intimate, a very sensitive topic, and that is domestic violence. Now, I know the big talk is about the football player Ray Rice and his wife and him knocking her out in the elevator and all these things, and everyone has their opinion. Everyone has their thoughts on what should or should not have happened or ever happened. And quite frankly, some of those people should not even be speaking at all. Okay? Now, I know when some of my friends and families see this video, they are probably going to be livid. But, I don't care. So now, let's get down to the meat of it. I honestly feel that if you have not personally experienced domestic violence, you probably need to be quiet and keep your thoughts to yourself. If you haven't had to assist someone get out of a domestic violence environment, you probably need to keep your opinions to yourself. Now, if we want to discuss the topic that's going on right now around Ray Rice and his wife, let me give you a little tidbit of information. First of all, we need to remember that these people have been in a relationship since, if I'm not mistaken, the young lady was 15 years old. Not quite sure how old she is now, but that is a long time. Based on experience, I can tell you that that probably wasn't the first time that he hit her. Okay? He had to feel comfortable enough to hit her like that in public. That goes well beyond any concept or any feeling or being angry, okay, or someone either hitting you back or even spitting in your face, especially if it's your mate. Okay? That's one thing we need to be clear on. The other thing is that there is a cycle that goes along with domestic violence. There's ups, there's downs. And that cycle creates a bit of confusion for the victim. And in that cycle, the victim is being taught that no matter what he or she does, if she or he gets hit, it was their fault. So I'm sure that her saying, well, I hit him, yes, she probably did. Okay, but how many times had he hit her before she actually hit him back? We have to understand that there's no cuteness, there's no love, there's no kindness in domestic violence. Now, for those of us who feel that because she hit him or because she spit on him, he had the right to hit her back, we probably need to stop and really understand the dynamics of domestic violence. Hear me clearly. We need to understand the dynamics of domestic violence. So, if you think that this man has not been putting his hands on this woman for a while, I feel sorry for you. I really do. Because this was not a one-time incident. This was not something that was new and unexpected. He felt comfortable knocking the hell out of her. And I say it just like that because that's exactly what happened. And she believes with all her heart that it was her fault. Regardless to how they got there, that moment that everybody saw on video, Understand, it is a cycle. It is a cycle. And some of you condemn her for even marrying him after. Again, I say, it is a cycle. And if you have not been in that type of situation, you probably need to be quiet too. And I can say that because my story, I grew up in an environment where fighting on the weekends, as one person said, as they talked about forgiving and all these great things, yes, we all need forgiveness. But just because you forgive does not mean that you have to go back to that situation. But I digress. I grew up in a violent environment. It was customary for couples to fight from Friday to Sunday. Customary. It is what I grew up around. It is what I knew. It was something that once I became an adult woman, okay, so he hit me, I hit him back, he hit me, I hit him back. Next thing you know, I gotta try to explain to classmates and things like that why I'm wearing shades all day while we watching a movie in the classroom. Until one day, someone out of the kindness of their heart said, you know, fighting every weekend is really not normal. It is not something that you should be okay with. And it is not something that is healthy. My first response was, they need to mind their business. Because for me, that was normal. That was normal. To have my husband come home and be mad at somebody else and take it out on me. Or because a classmate of mine said hello and then recognized who he was and didn't say anything to me. And by the time we got into the car, I was getting smashed upside the face. See, we don't know if that's her story. And if that man hit her like that in that elevator, I can pretty much guarantee that her story is somewhere close to that within their relationship. Now, unless we are, as a community, as a world, comfortable with that type of behavior going on, and we're comfortable with women and some men ending up dead due to domestic violence, then okay, I get it. I can understand why everybody says that he had a right to hit her. Understand this. Domestic violence happens within a cycle. Once it keeps happening, the victim believes that no matter what, no matter who else he's upset with, no matter how many times you try to defend yourself, it is all their fault. I believe that. For a long time, I thought, well, damn. Well, maybe I provoked him after he got home and I knew he was upset. I should have just not said anything to him. There are times when I couldn't even say hello the right way when he walked through the door. If you have not experienced domestic violence or know someone who has, and if you do, please don't make the mistake of asking her or him, why don't you leave? Because it's a process. How about you take time to figure out what that person needs in order to leave safely? Because that's going to be important. Because usually that's when the person's life is going to end, because they haven't figured out how to leave safely. And that abuser is going to make sure that they don't leave. This society has become comfortable with people openly abusing, hurting each other, and it is sad. Yes, I will say, just off the cuff, no. If you don't want to be hit, don't hit nobody. Okay, I get that. But if you've never been in a domestic violence relationship, you shouldn't be giving that advice to anybody, because 9 times out of 10, that person was trying to defend themselves first. Just because you didn't see it, and just because that person decides, okay, and they believe in their heart that I did something, and they come out to the world, oh, it was my fault, I hit him. Yes, you probably did see her hit him first on the video. But what happened before what you saw on the video? So to all the stars and to all the people who don't know anything about domestic violence, I think you need to keep your opinions to yourself. Because until you experienced it and until you have to get out of it, you're just speaking foolishness. Now, I know that this is probably going to upset a lot of people, and I am fine with that. And if you have questions about my story, you can contact me. I will be more than happy to share. But trust me, domestic violence is not anything that we need to take lightly. And it's not something that we all need to be joking about or playing around with or any of that. So for those of you who think that he was in his right to hit her, I publicly tell you, not in writing, but so you can hear it in my voice and you can see the expression on my face, you are wrong. Loving you all with all the love in my heart. Namaste.